Darkness falls into roars. Old films you blocked. Hollow wars from the crypt. Tales arise. Yorkshire keep. Cursed night skies. Friday night, fears embrace. Eyes wide, hearts race. Grotesque fast, shadows near. Upon your with fear, disappear. Specters haunt, screams at night. Vicious screams, endless fright. Legends told, torn to shreds. Your psyche, waking dead. Friday night, fears embrace. Eyes wide, hearts race. Grotesque fast, shadows near. Upon you with fear. Disappear, disappear. Specters haunt, screams ignite. Vicious screams, endless fright. Legends told. Friday night, fears embrace. Eyes wide, hearts race. Grotesque past, shadows near. Appointed with fear. Disappear, disappear. Fears embrace. Eyes wide, hearts race. Grotesque past, shadows near. Appointed with fear. Disappear, disappear. Disappear. Evil laughs, bloody might, old and new, pure terror sight, keeps with you. Truth unveils, endless dread, no veil. Friday night, fears embrace, eyes wide, hearts race, grotesque past, shadows near, upon you with fear, disappear, disappear. Disappear. Chloe, let be God, but with you. Dot. Oh, there. Free. Phil.
Hey up, it's Steve, not old Yorkshire geek. I forgot to do a custom intro for tonight's movie. I forgot all about it. I've had a busy week. Anyway, welcome to episode 128 of Friday Night Appointment with Fear. And this week we're doing the Final Destination, not the Final Destination 2. There's no the at the beginning. Final Destination 2. I'm loud. Hang on. Sorry, I'll move my microphone away. Do some adjustments. It should be okay. Maybe I'm a bit too close to my microphone. I do apologise. Been Grace. Wow, so loud. Anyway, it's better than being quiet, I suppose, isn't it? At least you can hear me. Anyway, so Final Destination 2. If you remember of the channel, I did an audio commentary for this film and uploaded that earlier on today. So if you remember, you can go and watch that and listen to me waffling on about this film in real time. And you can watch along if you've got a copy of the film. Right, so anyway, Final Destination 2, that's what we're doing tonight. I'm going to talk about it and try and remember the things I've learned from the Blu-ray, which isn't terrible. It's got an audio commentary from the director and producer and all that, which is fine. But the other special features, there's some documentaries, but there's not really any about the making of the film, oddly enough. More about fear and stuff like that. But anyway, whatever. Right, so before we start, don't forget, like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed already. Right, we should be live on YouTube. We should be, it says. Yes, we are. We should be live on Rumble. Yes, we are. And we should be live on Twitch. Yes, we're live on those 3 platforms. Right, so what else? Explore the description for links for stuff like merch and me books. I'll just get one of them out. There we go. Mercury Rapids, light-hearted sci-fi action adventure about UFOs and stuff. And there's the other one, Silent Predator, short horror novella. They're on Amazon Kindle and paperback. Give them a whirl. Right, what else? Become a member, and as I said, you can see exclusive videos and early access videos and exclusive emojis in the chat and stuff like that. Or you can drop me a super chat or a super thanks, which would be greatly appreciated. It'll go towards the rising costs of doing online stuff. Right. Final Destination 2. Obviously a sequel to Final Destination from a couple of years earlier. I can't remember when that came out. We did it a while ago on Friday Night Appointment with Fear. A sequel to that one. It directly references that film in many places. And in my opinion, I think this could be the best of the series. It's the one that people seem to remember because of the crash, because of the logs. But anyway, it's directed by David R. Ellis, whose other most famous film. He did the Final Destination, which I think was the 5th one. I think I could be wrong. And he also did Snakes on a Plane, so he's that sort of a director. It stars Ali Larter, AJ Cook, Michael Landis. Music by the late Shirley Walker. It's also got Tony Todd in it, the late Tony Todd. And the budget of $26 million, box office was $91 million, so it did pretty well for its budget. And we did get other films, so it did enough for the series to continue. Two Destination. Yes, for Final Destination 2, Electric Boogaloo. Got to say that for every 2 film. Right, so we'll get on with it, shall we? We're not going to watch the film, obviously, because YouTube would go mental and take my channel, give me another copyright strike. I'm living with a copyright strike at the minute. So I'm going to have to go to copyright school again. Unbelievable. Because Universal are not answering my emails. When you get a copyright strike, you can send an email to the striker, to plead for mercy. And I've sent them loads of emails. I'm just bombarding them with emails until they reply to me. But they haven't done yet. Anyway, that's by the by. Right, so we'll get on with this film, shall we? I will full screen this and we'll get on with it. Shall we? I'll make myself titchy tiny. Oh, pardon me, I'm burping. Right, where's my stuff? Too many things in this in my menus. Right, I forgot which one it is. I always forget, don't I? Is it that one? Yeah, that'll do. I can never remember. Right, so off we go. Add it to the stage. Right, we will begin. We're going through it in a series of stills. Did I say that? May show the odd snippet here and there. But anyway, off we jolly well go. New Line Cinema. Right, and we've got a bit of exposition. We're listening to somebody on TV telling us about what happened in the first film. It's the 1-year anniversary of what happened in the first film. And somebody on telly reminding us what happened. Remember that plane crash? And I forgot the name of the actor. Is it Devon Sauer? I can't remember the Alex Browning, I think his character name was. Had the premonition that the plane were going to blow up and they're all going to die. So they got booted off the plane. And it saved their lives for a while. So that's what basically happened. And death catches up, and in various humorous and inexplicable ways. And we get more of that in this one. Right, so anyway, off we go. I'm not sure what's going on here. We're in the bedroom of the main character, who's called Kimberly. Josh Temple's here, saying, never fear, Maddie's here. Harpoon at the ready, but lurking in the shadows like death in the Final Destination movies. Anyway, as I said, I'm not sure what's going on in her bedroom. She's pictures, and I have no idea what that is. She's stolen it from a cemetery. I have no idea. And scary puppets. She's also got a scary clown in there, which we might see in a bit. Oh, is that a mother? Oh no, that's her friend, isn't it? Anyway, never mind. Right, so pointy things, scary puppets, a spider. I'd be freaking out. More scary puppets. Daytona Beach. You notice there it says road rip. It's supposed to be road trip. Road rest in peace. Little nods. You got to watch for the signs. That's what they say in the film. That's not James T. Kirk. It's just James. I think he plays a young kid in this. A 15-year-old kid. I think that's him. Let me check. James Kirk. Yes. I think Tim Carpenter is a 15-year-old kid. And if you've seen this before, you know what happens to him. Right, so remember this is supposed to be set in the New York area somewhere. I don't know exactly where, but in New York State at least. So, even though it was filmed in Canada, in Vancouver. So it was like on the opposite side of the continent, but never mind. There we go. Music by the late, great Shirley Walker. Anyway, so they're still waffling on about Death's grand design and all that stuff. Right, so there she is. There's Kimberly, played by, I forgot her name already, AJ somebody or other. I've not seen her in AJ Cook. I've not seen her in anything else. I'm sure she has been in lots of stuff. Let's have a look. Criminal Minds, The Virgin Suicides, Higher Ground, Ripper, Out Cold, and Final Destination 2. I've probably done other things. Andrea Joy Cook, that's what the AJ stands for. Right. Is it James R. Kirk from the second pilot where no man has gone before? Anyway. Or it could be James. No. And I forgot what he is now. What Nomad called him. Thought he was. James Roy Kirk, something like that. Anyway, there she is. So she wakes up. Sees the telly. But she's going on a road trip. In the end, no one can escape death. Dun, dun, dun. Right. So, here we go. Right, she's setting off with her friends. She's saying goodbye to her dad. Going to Daytona. Is that near New York? I have no idea where Daytona is. Does it say? Dun, 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 dun. Plot. Come on, plot. Where are you? Does it say? Does it highlight Daytona? Oh, it does. It's in Florida, Daytona Beach. I had no idea. I've heard of it, obviously, but I've no idea whereabouts it is. So they're going for a long road trip then, are they? From New York to Florida. They don't get that far. Right. So, obviously, that's her dad. Who's got one of those faces. I've seen him in stuff. But don't ask me where. Let's have a look, shall we? We're never going to get through this film, so we're going to keep looking up people. Right. She's called Kimberly Corman, by the way, carrying on the tradition from the first film, where a lot of the characters were named after famous horror directors, like Browning, Todd Browning, and all that. She's named Corman after Roger Corman, obviously. Anyway, who's the dad? Michael Corman, Andrew Airlie, Scottish-born Canadian actor, doesn't say what he's been in by hovering over his name. Let's have a look. Oh, he's been in Stargate SG-1. Of course. X-Files, Fringe, basically stuff I generally watch. It's probably why it looks familiar. So there we go. So I've probably seen him in Stargate. Right. Where were we? Right, so she's getting ready. Her mum's died, by the way. Mum is not around. She passed away about at the same time as the Flight 180 things. It's all connected, which we'll get to later on. Right, so there's a hot friend. Don't ask me what her name is. I've no idea. But she's going with the... And there you go. She's all been all jokey and flirty with Dad because she thinks he's kind of hot. But anyway, off they go. Setting off. Dun, dun, dun. But then we see something red dripping from the car. Turns out it's transmission fluid. But it's we've already got a portent of doom. Right, so they've arrived at an on-ramp, as you call them over there. We call them slip roads. You call them on-ramps. As I said, this was filmed in and around the Vancouver area in British Columbia. They've got a 4-mile stretch of highway to play with that were closed off for them. So all the cars that you see on this stretch of road, they're all to do with the film. But anyway, she almost crashes the car at the beginning, and then she sees a hang on, where are we? A hobo lady with a basket full of not a basket, a net full of cans. Anyway, so they set off and off they go. Oh, they can see a bus with the kids chanting "Pile up, pile up." Why? Why the kids chant that? I have no idea. But them kids do. So we're getting lots of omens, and it's supposed to be. I think this bus underneath there. It's from the. I forgot the name of the town. Can't remember. Hang on, I'll look in here. Just bear with me. Where is it? The name of the town in the first film. Mount Abraham. The name of the town. That's where that school bus is from. Right, so anyway, off they go. Kids chanting "Pile up." She puts the radio on. She hears about there's a candlelight vigil about Flight 180. So she changes the thing. And then they listen to "Highway to Hell" by AC/DC. She thinks, I'll change that. Put on something else. There you go. And then we see some of the other characters in the movie. We're going to see Evan, who's in his... Evan's in there. He's won the lottery. 250 grand he's won on the lottery. So he's gone and bought himself... Thinks he's Knight Rider. Bought himself, I think it's a Trans Am. I don't know. Whatever. There he is. Then Dad phones and says, your car's leaking transmission fluid. You better put... Oh, I forgot about that bit. I forgot that was close, wasn't it? Oh dear. A lady flashes him on the motorbike, so he's seen. He's the only one that sees it, and he's pointing, and he's stoned. But anyway, so we get some boobies. The only boobies in the film, thank goodness. I forgot about that. It would land right on it, wouldn't it? If I were looking for something, I wouldn't be able to find it. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying now. I'm all gone all the dither. Anyway, there you go. So they carry on. There we see the policeman with the male lead, played by Michael Landis. Don't ask me the name of his character. I cannot remember. I will tell you because I've forgotten. Officer Thomas Burke. With the state police, you've too many. I said this in the audio commentary that I did. In a minute, you've too many law enforcement agencies. State police, sheriff's office, county police. I can't keep up with you. Anyway, being followed by the fuzz. What was that noise? That's something outside. I don't know. Right. So, and then we see Keenan. I can never remember her name. Or Keegan, not Keenan. Keegan. What's her name? Keegan Connor Tracy. Yeah, she's become quite famous, hasn't she? She's got a very distinctive face. Kind of pretty, but in a weird way. But anyway, she's there. So we're meeting the characters that are going to elude death for the moment. Who else are we going to see? We meet, I think it's Isabella Hudson. And when I first saw her, we see that she's pregnant. I thought she was her that plays... Shari in Stargate SG-1. I did honestly thought it was her, and I can't remember her name. She looks like her, doesn't she? Win Grace, I think she does. That noise was Josh Temple setting off cherry bombs in the front garden. Yeah, I thought it was. I can't remember her name. It was like Bandera or something. Not Bandera, Vita Bandera, something like that, wasn't it? but it's not. It's not her. But she looks like it to me. Anyway, she plays Isabella. She's a pregnant lady in a van, in a delivery van. Right. And here comes Eugene on his motorbike. Then there's a truck driver drinking beer. I also see that the name of the company is Heiss Pale Ale. Apparently, Heiss is one of the stuntmen or something, apparently. Anyway. Right, so they're carrying on. This go past this kid who's smashing his cars together. Another portent of doom. I'll try and be more quiet when I lurk, says Josh. Right, so they're carrying on. Who's this? I'm pressing the wrong button. Have we met everybody? No, we haven't met everybody. This fella, I can never remember these names. I'm hopeless. I don't care. I just know that they're going to die in amusing ways. Who we got? We've met Evan. He's won the lottery. We've met Isabella. So we saw Eugene on his motorbike. This must be Rory, I think. I think it's Rory, played by Jonathan Cherry. By the way, Keegan Connor Tracy plays Cat. I think that's it. But we haven't met Tim and Nora Carpenter yet. Maybe they're coming up. By the way, he's got thumb rings. I noticed another character, Eugene, wears thumb rings as well. So, in my opinion, they all deserve to meet their fate. I hate thumb rings. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I just do. I think they look stupid, but just me. I'm an old fuddy-duddy. Right, so... here's the copper. I think we've missed somebody out. Oh, here they are. Hang on. Where are they? We can get back to them. It's not landing on where I want to be, is it? Not landing on where I want to be. There they are. This is Tim and Nora. I think it is, anyway. Carpenter. Yes, it is. We see he's bashing the dashboard with some empty water bottles. You can notice the road's wet. It's obviously been raining. A lot of rain in this film. You'd think it was directed by Roland Emmerich. He always likes rain in his films, doesn't he? Anyway, the copper, Officer Burke. Is it Burke? He's a bit of a Burke. Yes, it is Officer Burke. Got an open cup of coffee. Presumably, I don't know if it's hot coffee or not, I can't tell. Has it got iced coffee? I don't know. But it's an open cup just sitting there on his, what do you call it, console, as he's driving. Is he an idiot? Must be, because that's going to fall off. Any minute now. Anyway. There it goes by. There we go. Then we're behind the dreaded logging truck. Here it is. Nearly as bad as the truck from... Duel, isn't it? Or Jeepers Creepers. Anyway, there he is. The policeman's behind that now. And there we go. The cup spills on him because he's a div. There it goes. What a knob, eh? What a knob. And then just as that happens, this chain just decides to break. Doing like that. I don't know why it just does. Is it like... in The Omen or supernatural films like that, is it a supernatural force or is it just, shit happens? I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, so here come the logs falling off. There they go. Doing, doing. The digital logs, CG logs, they did do tests with real logs, but apparently real logs don't bounce enough. They wanted them to bounce. So they used, for the bouncy logs, they used CG ones. So he's going to cut for it now. Obviously, I won't be able to linger on a lot of these deaths because some of them are quite gruesome. But he gets it there. A log in the face. There it goes. Eugene's going to come off his bike. There he goes. He's not going to be okay. There's was it Rory? Let's say his name was Rory. He flips his car. There we go. Big pile up. Based on an actual pile-up. Yes, death finds a way. I'm blanking on his name. You know what I mean? From Jurassic Park and The Fly and all them films. Jeff Goldblum, I say. What we're going to say? I'm going to do some. Oh, I looked something up. That was it. Based on a well, loosely based. Well, inspired by a real life pile up. Apparently, here we go. The accident on the highway, which we're watching now, was based on multiple accident. Um, an accident, multiple vehicle accident on Interstate 75 in Ringgold, Georgia, on the March 14th, 2002. Where 125 vehicles crashed and smashed into each other and killed at least 4 people, injured 39, and backed up traffic for miles. So that's what inspired this. Oh, and they should have done with this bit. They should have done a bit of Mad Max, shouldn't they? Had his eyes coming out of us on stalks. Maybe they do. Let's go through it a frame at a time. No, don't do it. So poor Eugene gets splattered. There we go. By his motorbike. Is that Rory still flipping? I think it is. There it is. And he comes to rest and he's like, crikey, I'm okay, he thinks, but not for long. Because he gets hit by a big truck and killed. Meanwhile, the carpenters, not Karen and a brother, whatever the hell he's called, Nora and Tim, remember he were playing with his water bottles? Oh, Justin 34's here. Hello, Justin 34. He was playing with his water bottles on the dashboard. Then he drops one and it goes under the pedals. So his mother, for Tizzy's mother and son. There it goes. She can't press the brake, look. So they're all, careering out of control. So they're going to die. Kimberly's car flips. By the way, the carpenters, their car just blows up randomly. Super blowing up. Oh, excuse me. By the way, this is Isabella. You'll notice, spoilers, by the way, you'll notice we don't see her die. Do you know why? Because she blooming doesn't, but they just kind of assume that she does. Anyway, there we go. That's Kimberly's car rolling, and it ends. Oh, look, that's her friend's hair coming out of the the sunroof, and there we go, blows up. Who's this? This is I forgot his name already. Evan. Evan's going to cop for it here, blowing up in a minute. So there you go. She comes to. We see Evan burning to death, and then the truck comes through the flames and hits them, and then no, it was all a blooming premonition. So she says, "Oh, we're all gonna die." So she starts seeing things that happened in her premonition. You know, the lady with the cans and all that stuff. And she says, "Oh, we're all gonna die," and she puts the radio on. We hear "Highway to Hell," etc. So she says, "That's it. We're not going any further," and she blocks the road, and all the people behind her are the people that we've just seen die. So the policeman thinks, why is she blocking the on-ramp? So they go and he goes to investigate. He's panicking because he's been smoking marijuana. Anyway, so saying, so we're all going to die. It's going to be a massive pile-up. And obviously they don't believe it, and everybody's honking their horns. They're all getting impatient. Eugene's got a lucky number 13 pool ball on his keyring. Obviously, he's not superstitious, obviously. They're waiting. Saying, come on. And then she says, oh, look, that's the truck that's going to cause the accident. That truck's going to kill everybody. It wasn't the truck's fault, it wasn't the truck, was it? It was the logs that killed everybody. But anyway, never mind. But the accident kind of happens a bit fast because we just see the thing. Remember, she's on the on-ramp and they were driving for quite a while, weren't they? Before the accident occurred. But as she's telling her this now, we just hear an explosion. We go crash. We hear an explosion. Looks down the road. Explosions, death, destruction, etc. Just yards. They were driving for ages, weren't they? But never mind. It doesn't matter. Right, so he gets on his radio and so there. I'm not sure how this next part of the accident happens, because she's looking round, being scared. Then we see Officer Burt come running towards her, pulls her out of the way, just as another huge truck just smashes into her car. How did that? I don't know. How did that get there? I don't know. I thought they were still on the on ramp. Shouldn't there be a barrier or something? Never mind. Don't overthink it. Let's go back and have a look. I want to see. I'm sure there was like a barrier when where they were parked. Let's have a look. Because he sees, doesn't he? They're all looking. Bear with me. I'm gonna solve this riddle. There you go. He's looking. Oh no, maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. There's a thing there, isn't there? There's like a big curb. Look, a big thing. Are they in front of that? There must be. There must be. Anyway, whatever. So basically, she's blocking the road, essentially, isn't she? The main road. Anyway, the highway. Anyway, so it's all happened. She's just seen her friends die. Here they go. Ah! There they go. So they didn't survive. Much to everybody's surprise, it's the people on the on ramp that have become the survivors, not her friends in the car. So she's all sad and all that stuff. By the way, we get a hint. Is it here? No, we see the sign. Another portent. Is it going to show it? We see 180. Where the hell is it? Has she seen it? There we go. 180, flight 180 and all that. Right, so and then we cut to the police station where we see this policeman. Is he the fella that were in Dreamcatcher that died on the toilet? I don't know. I'll look him up as well. If I can remember the character's name. Detective Subi. Right, let's have a look. Probably not him. You know what I'm like. Right, let's have a look. What were he in? Oh, yes, it was him that died on the toilet in Dreamcatcher. Oh, we're also in the 2014 Godzilla as well. Very good. Right, fair enough. Looks a little bit like Chief O'Brien, doesn't it? Anyway. Right, so I'd say they're all scared, and but you know they're shaken up, but they can't hold of it. They've done nothing wrong. They've just survived a massive accident. That's all. But they're just curious how she knew there were going to be an accident. Wingrace says, "I think he's been in Stargate too." Oh, right, I wouldn't be surprised. It's essentially a Canadian film, isn't it? From Vancouver, so probably has. Let's double check, shall we? I've lost where I was now. Where is he? Detective Subi. Let's have a look. Eric, by the way, Eric Keenlyside is the name of the actor. Credits. Scrolling down. Come on. Lots of TV, by the way. So maybe we'll get to a bit of Stargate. Way down the list, because we haven't had any Stargate for yonks, have we? Been a Supernatural. Sanctuary. If there's been a Sanctuary, it's probably been a Stargate. By the way, I never got past the pilot episode of Sanctuary, oddly enough. Stargate, SG-1. Yes, he played a character called Fred. No idea. So, yes, he has been in Stargate as well. Wingrace is correct, as usual, because, you know, I keep telling you he's a pan-dimensional mega being. I'm picturing Jonas season 5. I think it was 5, wasn't it? Or 6. I can't remember. Anyway, where were we? So she's saying, yeah, says, like I was there, I saw it all happen, and no, but nobody believes it, obviously, but he does, because he's probably in love with her, you know. Anyway, Eugene doesn't believe it, because he's got a massive thumb ring, so, you know, he deserves it. Whatever's coming to him, in my opinion. Don't like thumb rings. But they were sort of talking about how, you know, when your number's up, and death, grand design, and all that stuff. Which is the kind of true. I kind of believe. If your number's up, But, you know, it doesn't mean you can just live life with gay abandon, you know, just taking risks all the time. But, you know, some people do. You could live a super healthy life and get hit by a bus, couldn't you? But never mind. You never know. Anyway, so they let them all go. They're still talking about that. So off you go. Her dad arrives, there we go, takes her home. And all that. Right. So, there you go. Lovely house. It's America. Everybody has a massive house in America. I've got a little tiny little house. We're living in the UK. Everybody gets a massive house. It costs them about $2 to buy it. Anyway, right. So she's talking about her mum and all that, and so just asking about premonitions. Did mum have premonitions or something like that? But obviously, no, she didn't. Right, with Evan now. Evan lives in an apartment. He doesn't live in a massive house, because so what I've just said were a lie. He lives in lives in an apartment that for some reason is really untidy in the hallway. And we're never told why. I'm guessing one of the tenants has got kids, but we never see him. But there's lots of things for him to fall over and potentially die. That's what these films are all about, isn't it? Just things being in the way and causing you to die. Justin says, my house is half that size, but I also own 42 acres out of town as well. Don't believe you. I think you've got a massive, sprawling ranch house and stuff. You have small houses and all live next to each other. Yes, I can reach out and touch Melvin from Sci-Fi Quest. Except it's just Quest now, and I think he's fallen out with us. But anyway, because although he lives like 200 miles away from me, we all live on top of one another on our little island. Anyway, here he comes. Remember, he's won the lottery, so he's bought himself a nice bit of product placement. He's bought himself an iMac. Nearly trips over that ball, basketball, whatever it is. Made out of kangaroo skin. I always remember when I was at school, there was PE teacher telling us, got the basketballs out. Saying, these are made out of kangaroo skin. That's why they bounce so well. Do you know what? I kind of believed him. Anyway, so it's there because I was tripping up over stuff, and he gets into his apartment, and he's been buying his iMac and fancy watches and jewellery. We see he's got a frying pan full of pasta. Tiny house, huge garage. See, I know there'll be something huge about it. Bought it before I got married. Oh, well, that's the death knell, innit, for anything. Getting married, you'll never have money if you've got a woman. That's why I ain't got one anymore. Anyway, plus other factors. Where were we? Oh, frying pan full of pasta. Do you cook pasta in a frying pan? He does. Anyway, just chucks it out the window. There it goes. Off it goes out the window. Hang on. There we go. To put some music on, he's decided he's going to use that same pan to fry some. Takes his shirt off for no reason. Don't know why. Just does. You notice on the side of the fridge it says HEYE. Why are those particular letters? Don't know. But obviously, I is a clue as to what's going to happen soon. But why haven't you got other letters there? I don't know. Tiny house and an airplane hangar. Is that what you've got, Win Grace? You spelled hangar wrong, by the way. Unless you hang aeroplane. Anyway, where were we? All right, it's off in the fridge. Put his pan on. I haven't got anything in it yet, but he's still lit the gas. And he gets out some, by the way, Portent of Doom. Remember, this is from 2003. Corona. Remember that one, 16 years hence. Anyway, I was going to get some, I think the mozzarella things. There were Surefire snacks. I think the mozzarella thing, treats, I think it says. So I was going to fry them in apparently washing up liquid. I don't know. It doesn't look like oil, does it? Well, the bottle doesn't. It's like washing up liquid, but never mind. So in they go. There we go. These mozzarella sticks. I'm going to fry them. He doesn't notice. Hang on. Go back. Notice the H is not there anymore. There it goes. The H drops into his pot of noodles that he got out of the fridge. He doesn't notice because he's an idiot. So he pops picks up the noodles, pops them in the microwave, doesn't notice there's a big bloody green letter in the top of them because he's an idiot. A rich idiot, but anyway. That's why he took his shirt off, to show us that he's got a nipple ring. Because, is that important for later? Not really. But never mind. Because we see it again later. Anyway. He's listened to his answering machine. He's got loads of a couple of messages from old girlfriends who fobbed him off before, but now they've learned he's loaded, so they want to get to know him. There you go. He's bought himself a fancy watch, and also there we go, a ring. Is it a horseshoe or is it a C? Why would they have a C? I don't know. I'm saying it's a horseshoe for luck, but it's not very lucky for him because he drops it down the sink. The microwave's buzzing and flashing because of the magnet that he's put in. Drops he's dropped his ring. That's with the C on, down the waste disposal. So he sticks his hand in, obviously, and we're all like, don't stick your hand in there. He's fine, but he gets his hand stuck. Then the microwave kind of blows up, and then his pan sets on fire. So it's all going wrong. As I said, Frank Spencer and all that stuff. He just makes it worse. He bats the pan onto the floor and sets his apartment on fire. And he's got stuck. He gets his hand out eventually, but he can't put the fire out. His fire extinguisher doesn't work properly. So he gets out the window. By the way, also, for some reason, hang on, is it going to do it now? For some reason, the windows just close themselves. I don't know why. I don't know. As I said, is death an actual force, or is it just things that happen in a mousetrap kind of, the game Mousetrap, not the play, kind of way, dominoes toppling and all that. I don't know, but anyway. He's got one of the gargoyles. Is that from Notre Dame Cathedral? I think that's from the gargoyles, isn't it, from Notre Dame Cathedral? Is that a reference to how the first film ended in France? I don't know. He's got a model car there as well. And I've got a fan like that. Well, my son has in his bedroom. But anyway. So he smashes the window, climbs out, onto the fire escape. Down he goes. His flat explodes. Sorry, his apartment explodes. And he gets down the fire escape and has a close call. There we go. The thing comes. It's almost like it was a 3D film, and they decided, oh, look, 3D, but it's not. I think the fourth one was 3D, wasn't it? The third one wasn't. They missed an opportunity there, didn't they? But anyway, I think the fourth one was the one with the racing track. I think that was the fourth one, wasn't it? I think that was the 3D one. Anyway, so he's thinking, oh, that was close. I'm safe now. And then he's not safe anymore because, bang. He gets one in the eye, just like his fridge warned. His fridge magnets warned him. So that's the end of heaven. He's gone to heaven. Anyway, meanwhile, Officer Burke is looking up Flight 180 and all that, and we learned that they're all dead apart from Clear Rivers, Ali Larter's character. Remember at the end of the first one, they all ended up in France, in Paris, because that's where they were supposed to be going in the plane that blew up. So they finally got there. The survivors, there were three of them, weren't there? There were him, whose name I can't remember, and Alex Brown and Clear Rivers, and they ended up in France. But then the big sign came down, and he thought, oh, it's going to kill them all, but it didn't. It just killed him, apparently. Anyways, looking up all the people that died, there we go. Crushed by a sign, Carter Horton. But we also learned that Todd Browning died. A brick hit him. He locked himself in his house for 3 months, and when he went out, a brick from the neighbour's house hit him in the face and killed him instantly, we learned. But Clear Rivers, there we go. A local mystery continues to evolve with the discovery last night that another survivor of Flight 180 died under strange circumstances. Alex Browning, 19, was found 19 was found dead in an alley off Sycamore and Edinburgh. That's in Scotland. The victim of an apparent freak accident involving a falling brick. I meant to scroll then. Did actually scroll on my mouse. Stupid idiot. Victim had not left his house for 3 months. Anyway, and there we go, going down a bit. Believed a brick from the adjacent building became dislodged and hit Browning in the face, killing him instantly. Anyway, and then Clear Rivers admitted herself into a mental institution to keep herself safe. Anyway, now we're back with Kat, Keegan Connor, what's her face, who is, kind of hot, I must admit, but there we go. She's watching the news. He's watching the news. He's Eugene. We're learning all about, the survived this crash, and then we're going to learn that Evans died, and all that. So it's showing all them. Oh, he's like, oh, look, I was there. Anyway, and then we learned that Evans died as well. So they realise, they're going to start dying because they'd mentioned it earlier on that the survivors of the accidents. Death comes back to tidy up after itself. Right, so we're with, I forgot the names already, Nora and Tim Carpenter. Apparently her husband died 5 years previously, so the only thing she's left in her life is her son. But Tim ordered her to go to the dentist, and I'd be like, Mum, death might be trying to get us. The last place I'm going to go is a dentist. We're just going to stay at home. But no, he's going to the dentist tomorrow. So he's asking her, it's all rubbish, isn't it, Mum? She says, yes, it is. So go to sleep. So he settles down, and then his face looks like a skull. Apparently that's deliberate, the lighting. They wanted it to look like a skull. Another portent of doom. Right. Back with Kimberly. With her scary clown thing. Right, she's going to that. She's going to see some shadow play on the ceiling. And if I saw this, I would genuinely poo my pants. Because I'd be thinking, that's not just shadow play. A car is driving by the way. There you go. Casting shadows on the ceiling. And there we go. If I saw that, I mean, that's not just the branches on the tree, is it? Playing in the shadows. No, that's scary stuff. But anyway, she thinks nothing of it. Then she goes onto her product placement computer, and looking up where Clear Rivers is, we learn she's in the Stony Brook Institution, which is the same place that we see at the beginning of Halloween Resurrection, apparently, where Laurie Strode is incarcerated. Anyway, so there she's looking it all up, and she's going to go and see her. So off she goes, and we have a nice dissolve from a map to that. Hang on, I've gone too far. There we go. As the scroll down the map, it dissolves into, there we go, the reflection of branches on the car. Very pretty. Right, so she's arrived. She's gone to see Clear Rivers. She's told she's not allowed to take anything in with her, like watches or matches or guns, because she wants to be super safe. And she's there voluntarily. So is she paying for it? I don't know how it works in America land. If you admit yourself into a mental institution, who pays for it? Does the state pay for it, or do you have to pay for it yourself? I don't know. I mean, surely the doctors must say, you don't belong to be here. You don't deserve to be. You should go home. Not just, fine, stay. Take up a room. I don't know. Anyway. Right, there you go. This is voluntary. And she just leaves in a bit as well. She just goes. So anyway, so it goes to see her. There we go. She's got the meme board with the red string on. So she's going to ask her. She's got blonde hair now. Look, they were saying in the commentary, She doesn't want all this stuff that might be dangerous coming near her. But yet she dyed her hair or bleached her hair and said, well, maybe her hair were blonde to start with. I don't think so. I don't think they have blonde eyebrows. Anyway, so she goes to talk to her and she tells her, basically what she's got to do is watch for the signs and that death will catch up with you, that you'll die in the order that you should have died in the accident. That's what she tells her. Justice says, love this franchise, but never cared for the endings. They're not happy endings. Although, I don't know, this one has quite a happy ending. Ish. For the main characters, anyway, spoilers. Anyway, so he was telling all about the list, death's list. They'll die in the order that they're supposed to die in the accident. Then she says, no, hang on. Evan died first, but we saw him I saw him die, sort of like loads of other people had died before him. So apparently death's going backwards. Death's working backwards on this in this movie for some reason. But anyway. Justin says, insurance will pay the bulk of the bill, but you will pay a good bit. So she must be rich. She must clear rivers. Anyway. Maybe she owns, because there's a company, I think it's in the fourth one, you see a sign for a company called Clear Rivers, something or other, I can't remember, it might be bottled water or something. Maybe she's a shareholder in that, I don't know. Anyway, right, so, there we go, we learned that Officer Burke pulled her away, remember, from the truck crashed into her car, so death skipped over her because she was saved. Then it went on to the next one. So it's working backwards now. So that's why it went to Evan. Don't ask me the order after that. I have no idea. But there you go. So she's saying it's backwards now for some reason. Right. And we also learned that there may be another reason. Later on in the film, we learned that there is a connection to the first film as well. She's telling her, watch out for the signs. For some reason, Kimberly in this film has more premonitions. And I don't know, does that happen in the other films? I can't remember. But nobody else has premonitions apart from Kimberly. But anyway. So off she goes. But she doesn't help her. She says, oh, you're a coward and all that. So she goes away. Meanwhile, Officer Burke has arrived at Kimberly's house. He's looking in the windows, being all suspicious. I presume her dad's at work. Don't know. But they were talking about Evan Lewis is dead. Yeah, I know. But then she sees a reflection in the window of pigeons. She realises that the next to die, the next on the list, would be Nora and Tim Carpenter. But there you go. She sees pigeons reflecting in the window, and she looks around. There's actually none there. So she's had another premonition. So I said, Nora and Tim are going to be attacked by pigeons. Now, what happens next in this next bit? I'm going to lay the blame on Kimberly, because I don't think what would have happened if she hadn't gone running in saying, pigeons! But we'll get to that. So they're going to go and stop Nora and Tim from being attacked by pigeons. Meanwhile, Clea is having a think, and she's going to do the right thing. Here we go. She takes off her wrist thingamabob, and discharges herself. Justin says the actor from the first one was to return, but had scheduling conflicts, so they killed him off. Hated it. I think somewhere I read that he wanted more money as well. But anyway. They didn't only kill him off, they killed others as well. Right, so here we are. We're at the dentist now. There's Tim looking at the fish. And we'll notice a little fish comes along here in a minute. Is it this one? And it's going to get sucked onto this pump thing. I don't know what they call them. It's the thing that blows bubbles into, aerates the water. I'll call it an aerator. But here it goes. Is it a trained stunt fish? I don't know. Is it CG? I don't know. Is it a puppet? I've no idea. Maybe Stan Winston made it. I don't know. But there we go. So the machine's blocked up now, which is going to have repercussions, as I said, dominoes, etc. Not pizza, the domino effect. Right, so he's going in now to the dentist. So in he goes, all fun and games. I hate dentists. Meanwhile, outside the window, we see there's a huge pane of glass just moving about outside the window, and pigeons keep hitting the window for some reason. Remember the pigeons, she had the premonition. Right, so we're going to see, here we go, that because of that fish on the pump, there you go, it makes that squirt water out everywhere. Right, and the water runs down the wall close to an electrical outlet. There we go, because that's not going to be good, is it? Anyway, meanwhile, doing all that. Boom, there we go, pigeon hits the window, keeps putting him off. So I was going to give him gas instead of, he's going to do an injection, but he keeps getting distracted. Hang on, when I wait. Me mouse. Wind race. Need to take off. Have a great night. You have a great night too. I wonder where you're going. Hope you're going somewhere nice. Cheers, mate. See you later. Have fun. Right, so Water's heading towards Nora as she reads her Reader's Digest. He's going to give him gas and air. Look, nitrous, laughing gas, he calls it. I'm not exactly sure what nitrous does, but it makes cars go fast, doesn't it? I know it's laughing gas. Right, so there he goes, sets about working. But then the pigeons keep hitting the window, and then he hears a smash from the waiting room, and the pigeons come through the window there. Anyway, they've just found out that they're at the dentist. So she phoned their house. She's got their number. I don't know how she got the number, but whatever. Maybe he knows the number because he's a policeman, isn't he? She says, the cleaner, wish I had a cleaner. The cleaner says they're at the dentist. So, there you go. Right, so the water goes in there, electricity comes in there, but she avoided it, did Nora. They're trying to catch this pigeon. Catch the pigeon, catch the pigeon. I used to love that cartoon. And luckily the water's not electrified anymore, thank goodness. But on the floor. But anyway, he goes out, then suddenly the oxygen goes off. Makes you euphoric and tunnel vision. Fair enough. Anyway, so he's lying there with his mouth, his gob wide open, and one of these rubber fish just happens to fall into his mouth, just spontaneously. I'm still kind of trying to catch that pigeon. Here it comes. There it goes. Starts choking him. So he's choking on that, breathing in nitrous because the oxygen's not working anymore. So they'll go and check on Tim. Anyway, he's fine. She saves him. She pulls the fish out of his mouth. He's okay. Did they carry on the dentist work? I have no idea. But anyway, they come out now. And then they come in. And then he comes running up. The pigeons! And so he goes, oh, look, yeah, pigeons. And goes heading into them. Ooh! And then gets splattered by a massive pane of glass. Here it comes. Apparently that would take two. Because the first time they did it, the legs went wrong. And the glass came down and there just were two legs sticking up. So they had to do it again. And they got it right the second time. So poor Tim splattered. But if she hadn't shouted pigeons, he wouldn't have gone, ooh, yeah, pigeons, and gone running into them, would he? Stupid Kimberly. So I'm blaming her for that. Anyway, so Nora's going with what's left of Tim, and they've scraped him up and put him in a bag. Anyway, takes her home, takes Kimberly home, and then Clea arrives in a minute. Here she is, saying, "I'm come to help you. Come with me if you want to live," or whatever. So they're going to go see Tony Todd now in his spooky mortuary. So So just walking. I remember the first one, they broke in, didn't they? They climbed in through the ceiling, didn't they, or whatever. And Tony Todd were there. And for some reason, is he supernatural? Don't know. But anyway, they go around this corner. They see a shadow. Ooh, a shadow walk. That's supposed to be. Does he have a name, by the way? I don't know the name of his character. Tony Todd. Let's have a look. Mr. Bloodworth. I didn't know he had a name. There you go, Mr. Bloodworth. That's supposed to be, but it isn't. It's one of the stage hands who were a big fella, and it must be like a pickup shot or something. And they said, "Go make a shadow," so they did. Anyway, they go in, and it's all spooky. For somebody who's got a big fridge with lots of what they call it, dry ice, loads of dry ice going, like a bloody Dio concert or something. And there's the furnace. And he comes out now with the body of Evan. Here he is. It just comes out. Hello, Claire. And there we go. It's the body of Evan. There we go, with his eye missing. We won't dwell on it. Has he not had a? Because he's going to shove him in the furnace now. Has he not had a memorial service or something? I don't know. Maybe has there just been one somewhere else in the facility? I don't know. Or is he just shoving him in the furnace? I have no idea. Anyway. And remember I mentioned he's got a nipple ring. The only reason it's there is for Tony Todd to pull it out here for some reason. I don't know what relevance it has to the plot. I have no idea. But anyway, he's just telling them about Death's design and all that stuff. And he tells them that New Life can cheat Death's plan and all that. So then they think of, New Life can cheat Death's plan. So they remember that the woman were pregnant, that I said looks like her from Stargate SG-1. There he goes, pulling on the nipple ring. I've no idea what relevance it has. He just pulls it out and shoves him in. There he goes. So poor Evan. Anyway, so off they go. There you go. So that's Tony Todd's cameo. He's going to be in the next one, isn't it? Final Destination Bloodlines. In his final role. The late, great Tony Todd. Anyway, so he's kind of supernatural, isn't he? Because he knows her name, but maybe he's just seen her in the news or something. I don't know. Right, they're getting gas now. They're refilling with gas. Lots of stuff that can go wrong, although none of it ever does. But remember, we've got to watch for the signs. So there's stuff happening. Kids on skateboards, etc. Smoking in a gas station. There she's playing number with him. And then she suddenly has a premonition. There's Kimberly that she's crashing into a lake in a van or whatever. Anyway, so they've got to go and help. What's her face? I forgot her name. The pregnant woman, whatever she's called. I've forgotten. Is it Isabella? I think it's Isabella, isn't it? Let me check. My eyes are getting terrible. Yes, Isabella. He says, we don't know how we're going to find her. He says, I'm a policeman. I can do anything. So, anyway. Reet. Let's make sure we're still going. Yeah. Right. There you go. There's a pregnant woman, because remember, New Life can cheat Death, etc. So she gives birth to the baby. It'll disrupt Death's plan, and they'll all be saved. Apparently, don't know how that works. I don't know, because the baby were alive, wasn't it? But anyway, whatever. The baby's alive inside it. It didn't become alive as soon as I'm doing the action. As soon as she gave birth to it, but never mind. So there we go. They've got to find. So there you go. They find. It uses this police computer. Is this allowed? Is this personal use? I don't know. But anyway, there she's. Apparently, the actress were really unhappy with that image that they used. Procedure date. What's all this? 13th of June 2001. What's that for? Don't know. Get your dates the right way around, America. Anyway. Right, so where are we now? Oh, we're with Rory now. They're at. He's told them. I forgot to mention that. He's got in touch with the others. Have phoned him up after Evan's death and all that. The other people phoned up the police officer, Officer Burke. So he's arranged for them all to come to his apartment, which is lovely. He must be on the take or something. But so they're all going to his apartment. But his apartment block has got a dodgy elevator with bumpers that don't work properly. You see the door. Trapped his foot. Right. Anyway, he's got nothing on his face, has he? In a bit, in a couple of seconds, Rory says to him, "You've got something on your face," because apparently they improvised this scene in the elevator. They improvised the dialogue, and you say, "You've got something on your face. I can get it," but he ain't got anything on his face. I can't see anything. Anyway, whatever. You got something on it, but he hasn't. Not that I can see. Anyway, so whatever. After an awkward elevator ride, they've arrived at Officer Burke's fancy pants apartment. We Americans get everything wrong. No, it's the rest of the world that gets everything wrong, isn't it? That's what it is. Anyway, right. So they've all got to work out what they've got to do, and Clea says we've all got to stay put and take shifts and keep an eye on everybody and all. But they're not believing him. By the way, hang on, let's have a look. Let's look at his apartment. Whitey's got a bike on his wall. Behind her, there's I don't know, spears or harpoons. Josh Temple. There we go. Behind there. Why has he got them? I don't know. And he's also got a kayak hung up for some reason, which we'll see in a moment. Anyway, Eugene's not happy with this. He thinks it's all nonsense and he controls his own life. So he's going to leave. So he picks his coat up and then nearly gets killed. Because he's number 13. There we go. It's like bloody dominoes, isn't it? He picks up his coat and his number 13 pool ball rolls into a mouse trap, a massive a rat trap more than a mouse trap. So obviously, the officers, it might have a fancy pants apartment, but it's obviously infested with vermin. Sets that off, boiling. It's like a mouse trap in it, and for some reason, there you go. It's got a kayak that's just going to swing through and almost kills them, but doesn't. But anyway, so she says we've got to safe proof this death trap. Justin says, nah, we all have issues, but makes us human. About Americans. Just it looks like a nice house decor to me. I knew you'd say that. More knives and missing axes and swords and knives and bows. Apparently in the UK, if you got like a ninja sword, a samurai sword or whatever, you're not allowed to have them. I don't know from when. They're going to have like an armistice. I don't know, but I don't think that'll work, will it? Nobody's going to give up the stuff. Even if it's just like ornamental things on your walls. Anyway, so she says, we've got to safe-proof this death trap. Right. This policeman, there we go. It's Aaron Douglas, who you may know from Battlestar Galactica and other stuff. I'm blanking what else he's been in. I think he was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Were he in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? He might have been. Anyway, they found the van that belongs to Isabella. They pulled her over and said it's been reported stolen. It hasn't, has it? But I don't think it has. But so they're just putting her into custody. They're trying to safe-proof the apartment. But Nora says, "Oh, I've had enough." Josh says, "I have several." I'm not surprised, mate. My son's got some up on his bedroom wall. He's got some katanas and a big trident and stuff like that. So if a zombie apocalypse happens, I think we'll be all right. The world has gone mad. No sword, ridiculous. I know. As I said, how are we going to defend ourselves in the coming zombie apocalypse? They can have it. They can have Aiden's swords and they'd pry them from my cold, dead hands. Anyway, I forgot what I want now. Nora, right, she's saying she's going. She's nothing to live for. Her husband died, 4 years ago, not 5. Her husband died, and now she's no son. She says nothing left to live for. She doesn't care, but she will in a minute. There you go. I have a funeral to plan. So off she goes. And Eugene says he's going as well. So there, 2 of them's leaving already. So anyway, Rory nearly gets killed. He goes into this closet and sees lots of different rucksacks and stuff. He's going to show it. So I think Officer Burke's a serial killer. Look, lots of different coloured rucksacks, all like, as though they're owned by different people. I think he's a serial killer, and these are his trophies. Anyway. So he nearly gets killed by everything falling out, but, not quite. Anyway, right, so Nora and Eugene get in the elevator, and there's a man, for some reason, with a basket of prosthetic appendages. Why? Don't know. There just is. He's just there. Not telling us why he's there. There's some deleted scenes on the disc, but I haven't watched them, so I don't know if he's like referred to before. I don't know, but he's just there in the elevator, and he's also a bit of a creep. But yes, he's the backpack killer. Anyway, so yes, he looks up and he sees, much like, so he's having kind of a premonition. He looks up and he sees the shadow play. Oh no, he's looking down. He sees the shadow play. I see a man with hooks. It's a bit vague, isn't it? It's a bit. It's not as good as she saw with the hands on the ceiling, or the spectral hands. He's just seen a shadow. But anyway, I see a man with hooks. So anyway, meanwhile in the elevator, they're going out to look for him. All right, Kat has gone out as well. To have a cigarette. She's going to have a cigarette. Anyway, so he's going to have. Hang on, here we go. He's going to do a Joe Biden. Here we go. Look, he's doing a Joe Biden on Nora's hair. So it's a bit creepy. Anyway, the phone rings. Oh, I forgot also. When Nora left, Officer Burke gave her a telephone. Now, is it a mobile phone? I think it is. I don't know. But I'm thinking, was it like just, another one from his house? Anyway, he phones her up and she can't hear him. So he says, watch out for the hooks and all that, but she can't hear him. Must be a bad signal. But she gets caught on the hook. There we go. Gets caught on the hook. And instead of just stopping and just saying, I'm caught on your hook, the elevator door opens and she goes lunging out and gets trapped thusly. There we go. She gets trapped, and then the door shuts and they can't get it open because, remember, it's broken. So she's getting dragged up, look, and then, oh no, and she's going to get her head chopped off. So they try and get her out, but they can't. And she's saying, I don't want to die, but she does. There we go. And she gets, her head comes off. So if she were one of the immortals, she's not anymore. Yes, he did a Joe Biden. Anyway, Officer Burke's found out that Isabella's been held at a sheriff's station, so they can go and collect her or whatever from there at their leisure, I suppose. Meanwhile, Eugene comes running in. Just seen Nora get killed, and he's shouting and bawling. He's freaking out. And he grabs the policeman's gun, Burke's gun, because he just had it there. And because even though he's off duty, he's still got his gun on him. America. So he grabs the gun, and he's saying, "I control my own life, and I'll go out my own way." And he tries to do that, but it doesn't work. He's clicking and pulling the trigger. Nothing's happening. And there we go. And they take. We see that it's actually full. It takes the gun off him, and he looks in the loading thingamabob. There we go. And it was full, but none of them went off. And they said, "Oh, maybe there were duds." Not all of them. Does it's not his time. And then they come in all covered in blood and says, "Can we find the pregnant woman now, please?" I'm guessing now they go and get into clean clothes and they have a shower, I presume. I'm guessing the police officer has loads of women's clothing for him to wear from the people that he's murdered because he's the backpack killer. But anyway, lots of America hate, all in jest. It's just a bit of fun, isn't it? You're allowed to take mickey of politicians. That's a game, not a way out. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Just joking, Steve. Where were we? Oh, right, yes. So, as I said, the police officer obviously has lots of women's clothing because we see them in next time we see them, they're all clean and in different clothes and in Kat's car. She's driving. There she is. Look all nice and clean now in different clothes. Anyway, right. So they're heading to the sheriff's station. Meanwhile, she's there, and suddenly her waters break. Oh God! So apparently, he hasn't got a car there. The sheriff has got the car, so they have to take her van, get her to hospital because she's going to have a baby. So off they go in her van. This is where we're all learning now that they're all connected with the people that died in the first film. So we're going to learn that. They all said, I've had a brush with death. And we learn that he's a teacher. It doesn't look like one, does it? But doesn't act like one. He's a teacher, and we learn that he replaced another teacher. He was transferred to another school, and 2 days later, after he was transferred, a student went into his school and killed the teacher that replaced him. But we'll also learn that the teacher he replaced, who was transferred to another school to replace another teacher, was I forgot her name. It says her name. But anyway, one of the characters from the first film, Val Luton. It was Val Luton. I should know that because obviously there's a director called that. What else? That's nice saying that. All right, and then Burke has his own story. He got called out on got a call to go and deal with an accident on the railway line. And his partner says, "Oh, you go deal with it, and I'll do this other thing." And so he dealt with that, the railway line thing, which turned out to be, I forgot the character's name. Don't say there, does it? Him that got his head chopped off in the first film by the railway line. It turned out to be him, so he's connected with him, and his partner went where he went. He got killed in a shootout, so if he'd have gone with him, he'd have died then. So that's still connected with Flight 180. And what else? All right, Kat was supposed to go somewhere. But the bus she were on hit somebody, so she missed the show. I think the show was supposed to be going to. Something happened. Was it a show or was it a resort or something like that? People died in this where she was a hotel or something that she's supposed to go to. They all carbon monoxide poisoning or something. But she didn't make it because the bus she were on hit the girl from the first film. And is there another one? It was a gas leak. There we go. So there we go. And he's got his own story. There you go. For some reason, he was in Paris. He's like a druggie, and he was in Paris at the same time that the sign happened at the end of the first film. But anyway, apparently the whole theatre collapsed, and he was supposed to be in there, but he didn't get inside because he was on a bend. Anyway, but it just happened to be in Paris. Anyway. So they're all connected to what happened, and so is Kimberly, because on the day that her mother died, she were in a shop or something, and they were on watching a news thing about the kid, the lad that got strangled in the bath. And while she were watching that, her mother went outside and got killed by somebody trying to steal her car. So there you go. They're all connected to the survivors of Flight 180. Right. Meanwhile, this is there we go. This is Isabella on her way to hospital, and they're going to almost have an accident with these now. Coincidentally, there we go. Because Kat's car suddenly decides. There we go. The tyre blows. So they're going to go off the road and crash the car, and they almost die when all these plastic pipes go through, but they don't. But Eugene gets hurt, and I'm not sure how. There you go. She nearly gets skewered. There you go. He's hurt. I don't know how. Has one of these pipes gone through him? I don't know. But he says apparently his lungs collapsed, but I don't know how. I don't know. But anyway. The officer, whatever his name is, and Isabella, they stop. But she says, you've got to get me to hospital. So he calls in, for that help. And they set off to hospital. She's been pinned. A big wooden thing's gone through the car and pinned her to the seat. And this is Brian Gibson, who is the director of Poltergeist 2, wasn't he? Thinking about it. Anyway, I think. There you go. He tries to get her out, but he can't get her out. She's stuck. And he's saying, but everything's okay. There's no petrol leak and anything. You're fine. But anyway, they're getting Eugene off to hospital. An ambulance has arrived and all that. And meanwhile, a news crew's arrived for some reason. And the van almost hits Brian. There we go. But Rory saves him. Right. Anyway, the news van reverses over that stone, and then the petrol starts spewing out, or gasoline, or I don't know what it is, gasoline, kerosene, whatever it is, paraffin, I don't know what it is, and goes on its own little journey, a little mousetrap journey, to where it can cause most trouble. Rory asks Kimberly to, if anything happens to him, he gives her his keys and stuff and says, go and throw out all my drugs and porn and stuff like that. Anything that'll make my mother cry if anything happens to me. So she says, okay. Does she? I don't know. Because Rory doesn't have long for this world. Anyway, she's still stuck in there. Anyway, the fire brigade arrive. Meanwhile, this petrol's still wending its way to its destination. Its final destination, you might say. Anyway, the firemen arrive, or whatever, with their jaws of life. So you can be a little quiet with that. I'll put it on quiet mode, and he rams it in. Yeah, we got to put it on quiet. He rams it in, but it sets off her airbag. Unfortunately, I'm not sure how this worked, but it's forced her head back onto the. Remember the jagged pipe that were there? Hang on. There we go. Somehow that's behind. That were behind. It was at the side of it. It was there, wasn't it? At the side of it. But then somehow it's moved over there. But whatever. So that's the end of poor Cat. She was smoking a cigarette. There we go. The cigarette drops. And then that cigarette finds its way to the petrol. If off it goes, look. La 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 la. I'm going to find some petrol, says the cigarette. It's like it's on the bloody string, isn't it? Anyway. So there we go. He almost gets hit by a tree branch that just falls randomly. The cigarette ignites the petrol. There it goes. Didn't Mythbusters say that wouldn't work? Because I think they did a thing, didn't they, on Mythbusters? You know, in films where they show petrol on the floor, gasoline, whatever you want to call it. And in films, in action films, they just like throw a lighter or a match onto it and it all blows up. And they did that on Mythbusters once, didn't they? They said it doesn't work because apparently the flame of a match or whatever isn't hot enough to ignite gasoline. Don't take my word for it. I could be remembering it wrong. But anyway, that cigarette ignites that fuel. And off it goes. And blows that up. And sends the fence into a weird looking Rory. Well, his body's way too long, but never mind. So there we go. Rory's been turned into Rory chunks. Justin says, yeah, it don't work, but it can make the fumes go. See, it's the fumes you got to worry about. Much like in The Spy Who Loved Me, the James Bond film where they had a huge oil tanker, didn't they? And they wanted to rent an oil tanker to film on. And they could have got one from Shell. They said, oh, we've got an oil tanker that's empty. But apparently they're more dangerous when they've no oil on because of the fumes that build up in the tanks, and which is more flammable than the oil itself. But anyway, that's by the by. Right, so poor Rory's caught for it. So that's another one bites the dust. Diddle-do. So this fella just says, take my truck. This is Mr. Gibson, by the way. We've got to get to hospital to save Eugene and Isabella. So he just said, take my truck, because, you know, he's kind. Keys are in it. So off they go in his truck. She has another premonition. She nearly crashes the car. That Dr. Kalargian's going to strangle her. But anyway. So, off they go. There you go. She's having a baby, is Isabella. Eugene's in ICU or whatever, which I think is on the same floor as Isabella having a baby. But anyway, weird things are happening. The door closes by itself. That just starts moving by itself. It's the devil. I don't know. These vents just close for some reason. The oxygen thing just pops off and starts spewing oxygen into the air. Pure oxygen, you might say. Anyway, they arrive at the hospital, and we learn that the baby's been distressed, and the umbilical cord's got wrapped around the baby's neck, and it's choking. So they need Dr. Kajarian to save it. Sorry, Kalargian, whatever. But they're going to stop her. Is Officer Burke going to say, no, we're going to stop you, police business. So they could be basically killing that baby. Thankfully they don't. The baby's fine. There she is, Dr. Kalargian. There you go. They stop and say, please, but the baby's fine. Out it comes. They're all happy. They think they've cheated death. Eugene's fine. Everything just stops trying to kill him, and he seems fine. So off he goes, starts breathing again. They're all happy. The baby's been born. They've cheated death. She says, who the hell are they? Because remember, she's not met them. Although she did kind of see her at the side of the road, but she doesn't really know they are, does she? There you go. Who the hell are they? But they think they've cheated death. But then she realises that they're all... just spontaneously, by the way. She just remembers. She doesn't have a premonition. She just remembers. She's like, oh, hang on. Isabella didn't die in the accident. I saw her at the side of the road. Pardon me. So she wasn't supposed to die. So, you know, we've done nothing. It was pointless. But and then she sees going into the lake. There we go. She says, it's bloody, someone with bloody hands. And then she's seen the bloody hands in her vision. And then Clea goes, Eugene! So she goes running off to where Eugene, she must know which room he's in. She goes off to him. But she doesn't call out, no, it's not Eugene, because the white hands, and I ain't got, Eugene hasn't got white hands, has he? But never mind. So she goes running off. She knows where Eugene is. He's in this room that's for some reason blocked because it's the devil. So she goes in. She opens the door, and suddenly there's a random spark. There we go. Pulls that out, and it all explodes because remember the room had been filling up with oxygen. Because love is like oxygen. So that's the end of Clea and Eugene. A massive explosion. So it must be pure oxygen. So there we go. So poor Clear's caught for it. Oh God, no! So they got to get away. By the way, they kept when she's walking backwards here. They had these little, I forgot what they call them. They had these little like fire sticks, like fire lighters, I think. But they just popped them on the floor and set them on fire. And she kept standing on them and setting the trousers on fire. But anyway, she realised it's her hands. Premonitions are about her. So anyway, so she realises, oh no. Justice says, hated they killed her off. Alilata. It'd be nice if she'd have been, more of them, wouldn't it? If she were like, the through line of the series of films, but she didn't. So never mind. So she realises it's nothing to do with new life. She realises, right, I've got to drive the car into the lake. I'll drown. Bring me. You can save me. Bring me back. And Dr. Kerlage, what the hell she's called, can resuscitate me. That's what her plan is. A bit like in The Abyss. That's what happened with Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio in The Abyss. She drowned and they brought her back, didn't they? Anyway, there you go. New life for drowning victim. That's where she gets the idea. So there you go. I have to die. So off she goes. She goes and drives the Ecnolubma into the lake. Off she goes. Whee! Can you swim? Just like James Bond in The Spy Who Loved Me Again. Splodosh. In it goes. Do it slow motion. Get your money's worth, director. So off he goes. He does a belly flop into the water. Are you ready for this? He thinks he's going to do a cool dive, but belly flop. At least he can swim. I can't bloody swim. So anyway, right. So you think he's not going to save her because he can't open the glass. He can't smash the glass and get her out and all that. She has a montage of all her friends. There we go, and all the people that she's known. But then it goes black. And then they bring him back as RoboCop. If you watch the, I said this in the audio commentary that I did. But it should go all and then boot up things because they bring him back as RoboCop. But no, Dr. Kerjalabardanian has saved Kalagian has saved her. She's come back, and there you go. They've cheated death. She's alive. We did it. Yeah. And then it goes to golden hour. Look, everybody's all bathed in golden sunshine. Yeah. Then there's a passage of time. I don't know how long. But now they're at some sort of barbecue with the family that were at where the accident happened before, where poor Rory got chopped into 3 pieces. They're there for some reason. They've invited them there just randomly. Justin says she was originally going to survive from what I was reading. So were Devon Sour. But that never happened, did it? Anyway, that said, it'd be nice if she'd have carried on, but the series is still good without her. Anyway, so they're there at a barbecue, and this is where they learn now that Rory saved her son Brian, who's there. There's the barbecue smoking away over there. So we'll now learn that somehow Brian has been added to the list because Rory saved him. I don't know. I don't know how it works. There you go. Your friend Rory pulled him back at the last second, saved his life. That were lucky, and they look over, and Brian explodes for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why. Were they cooking dynamite or something? I don't know. But and his leg or his arm flops onto in front of his mother. And then the film ends. There we go. We just see poor Brian's hand, and the film ends. But Kimberly and Thomas Burke are fine. So they survived. And I don't know if it mentions them in part 3 in the 3rd film. I can't remember. It's a long time since I've seen it. I don't know if it's mentioned in the 3rd film. It's that long since I've seen it. So I don't know. I'll have to watch. We'll have to do Final Destination 3 at some point. But anyway, so there we go. So that's the end of Final Destination 2. Oh yes, Mr. Bloodworth, Tony Todd. Justina Machado or Isabella, not from Stargate SG1. But yeah, a really good. I think it might be my favourite of the Final Destination films. Is this one? But I do like them all. I think they're all good. They're all entertaining, in their own way. But poor Brian, I just can't get enough of that. Why did he blow up? I have no idea, but he did. What were they cooking? And why have they got killer whales in their pond, in their swimming pool? Anyway, never mind. Right, so there we go. Watch it. I don't know if it's on streaming. It will be, won't it? I'll put a link in the description, won't I? For the UK version of Prime Video and YouTube. It'll be on YouTube to rent or buy, won't it? Or you can get the box set of all of the Final Destination films to date and watch them on there. Really good film. I really enjoy it. There's some entertaining mayhem in it. So there we go. Right. Pop myself back up there. So anyway, so it kind of had a happy ending, didn't it? Because the two lead characters do survive at the end. Unfortunately, Brian doesn't. They're the only ones who survived. Everyone else is dead, yes. So. But do they survive into the third film? I can't remember. Are they even mentioned? I don't know. But anyway. Right, so we'll leave it there. We're all done and dusted for another week. What's coming up next? I haven't got it on me. On Monday, for Magnificent Mondays this week, we're doing Valley of Gwangi. Cool Ray Harryhausen dinosaur flick with cowboys from 1969. That's what we're doing on Monday. And I haven't decided what next week's A Point with Fear is going to be just yet. So I'll decide at some point. We'll leave it there. Right, so thanks Justin and Josh Temple and Win Grace, who's buggered off, for keeping me company while we look at Final Destination 2. And we'll leave it there. I'm sure I've forgotten something. That's why I'm umming and ahhing. I'm sure I've forgotten something, but I can't remember what. I'm getting old now. But anyway, we'll leave it there. I will reiterate. Let me put this back on. There it is. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that stuff. Yes, they're the sole survivors. Yes, you take care too. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share the videos, drop a comment, all that stuff. Explore the description for the links for like merch and all that. And all that cool stuff. Become a member and all. Right. So, thanks for watching. We'll leave it there. Thanks for watching. And wherever you are, look after each other. Don't have nightmares. If you do survive some horrific accident after having a premonition, don't worry. It'll be right. Don't try and, what's the phrase? I forgot now. Don't try and overthink how to escape. I forgot. Whatever. Don't just go with the flow. You'll be all right. I'm going now. See ya.